Hi everyone, and welcome back to Grim Grip Gaming for another gameplay episode. I'm sitting here with a cup of coffee and I have Diablo 3 in front of me and I'm ready to play. Let's start a Torment 16 private game with my barbarian. I thought we should do a couple of rifts, maybe a normal rift and maybe a greater rift today, so a little bit longer episode. I'm using Wrath of Wastes together with Sage Passage, or Sage Journey set, so Sage Ribbon and Sage Passage boots for some extra death breath drops. So let's start a Nephilim rift. Let's see what we can find. There's some death birds here. Still no... Oh, there's a first legendary, or a set item. Amulet. That was a first drop. Let's hope for more here. It was empty. Oh, another legendary. A maze this time. Let's see if we can find something more here. Another Well of Blessing. There we go. Just waiting for those explosions. As I mentioned before, this barbarian, I do a lot of damage on this one, but still weak on toughness and recovery, so I really need to watch out for those explosions. Let's see if we can find something more here. Oh, I hear a goblin somewhere. Oh, sorry, there was a goblin somewhere. Death breaths and gems. A gem hoarder. See a pylon, a shield pylon. It's pretty good. Helps me protect me from damage. Another legendary, a mighty belt this time. Another set item, some gems, some rare. Occasionally I pick up some rare items, the yellow ones, and some magical items, the blue ones, just for crafting materials. Also some regular ones, the white gear. Pretty good to stack up on crafting materials when you use the blacksmith, and if you use the cube to upgrade or reforge your gear, basically. Another pylon, got a chest armor, a pants. Stacks and stacks of enemies. Nice. And we have a Rift Guardian. Where did you go? There you are. That was pretty quick. Let's clean up here before we loot. So, some keystones, mighty weapon, some crafting materials, death breaths, forgotten souls, gems, sword and I don't remember what it was. Alright. Some chest here. Oh. Now they're dropping like flies here. What's going on? Let's continue. Let's clear the whole rift, see what else we can find. Sorry about that. I thought I heard a goblin somewhere. Oh, there he is. A treasure goblin. That's nice. And legendary death breaths, gems, crafting materials, and some rares. I'm gonna skip those. Just gonna drink some coffee as well. Let's continue. Unstable Dream, level 3. And in case if you're wondering, there's several different ways to play Diablo 3 today. You can play it as a normal game. You can play a season, which I'm doing right now. I'm playing season 19. Oh! I did not plan for that, so okay. Fire damage, bad. Lazy player. Let's move. Lesson learned, don't stand in fire. You will get hurt. Damn it. So as I was saying, yeah, I'm playing a season right now, which means I'm starting a new hero at the beginning of the season. You start from level 1 and you level yourself up to 70, and then you can continue with Paragon levels. Currently I'm at level 955 in Paragon, so not that high. I've seen players each season around 2000 or 3000 sometimes, so it all depends on how much you play. Then you can play Diablo with a hardcore hero, which means if you die, that hero really dies, and you have to start all over again. And then that's basic, either normal game, season, or a hardcore. Then you can combine those two, so you can be a hardcore season player, for instance, or as I'm playing it right now, a normal season. I tried hardcore, but I just get so frustrated every time I die and have to start over again. But some people argue that that's the real way to play it, and I can agree to some extent. But I like to advance and try out and push myself, but I don't like to start all over again every time. So I tend to keep to the normal season play style. So let's continue clearing this rift. See if we can find something more here. Got a pylon, channeling pylon, that's pretty good. That one takes away the cooling down period of any skill you have, so you can access them much faster. Power pylon gives you extra damage. And currently I'm using an amulet called Flavor of Time, which doubles the time of any pylon effect, which is pretty good, because then I can sometimes, if I do a really quick rift, I can keep those pylon up for the whole rift. So that's pretty good. Let's see. More set items, boots this time. There you go. And that's the end of it. Boots, death breaths. Alright. One last enemy. Let's travel back to town and close this one.
You have proven yourself worthy of your blood.
Thank you. Event complete. I get some experience and some gold. Book of Cain. Let's see. Wow. That's a pretty good run. That's a lot of gear. And a new transmog. Nice. So let's see what we got here. We have the Traveler's Pledge, the S of Johan, the Nutcracker. We got some magic, Mighty Belt, Lamination, really good belt for a barbarian with the Waste of Wrath. Wrath of Wastes. Rend can now stack up to 2 times on an enemy, and the damage rend is increased by 148%. I'm using this in the cube, so I don't need it. Another good ring for Barbarian, the Band of Might. After casting Furious Charge or Ground Stomp or Leap, take 78 reduced damage for 8 seconds. Instead of this ring, I'm using Ignore Pain with Iron Hide, which is basically the same thing but a lower number. I get 50% and I gain immunity to all controlling impairing effects. We got Rogar's Yugstone. We got Immortal King's Tribal Binding. We got Convention of Elements, really good ring. A lot of builds use that to stack up damage. Immortal King's Triumph. We got a regular gear, Dire Axe. I'm gonna salvage that for crafting materials. Raker's Breach. Breaches, yeah. Another rare item, Solitaire Muse for a monk. We're gonna just salvage that one. Cindercoat, Weight of the Earth, Dishonored Legacy, Maximus. What else? Spirit of the Earth. We got Vile Ward, Fulminator. We got a Grandfather, the 300 Spear. We got Paladins of the Wastes. I have better, so just gonna salvage this one. We got 8 Demon Boots, and oh, wow! What happened? I got a Primal Ancient Set Boots, Sabaton of the Wastes. That's really good. Wow, didn't see that coming. Oh. And the funny thing is it has a secondary attribute of level requirement reduced by 40. Cool. That, yeah, we're gonna save that one, and I'm probably gonna use that together with the other set items for greaterrift. This is awesome. Nice. Did not see that coming. Wow, that really threw me off here. A primal. Nice. Let's save that right now so I don't by mistake salvage it. Let's move the gems here out of the way. Oh, I'm gonna check on one thing. I'm saving. I got some primals before, long gone, before I started these videos of the Earth set here, and I think I'm saving. I got a better one here. Yeah, ancient one. So just gonna change that one. Wow. Primal ancient set. Fantastic. Still a little bit shocked about the drop. Fantastic. Let's use that later. So when you salvage, it's pretty nice. We have presets here for salvage all normal items, salvage magic items, and salvage all the rare items. So it's easy, a quick way to just get rid of gear that you really don't want to use. And every time you use it, you can see the salvage result here. When it comes to set items and legendaries, you have to use this button here, salvage button, and then you do one for each gear you have. It's kind of a control function, so you don't by accident salvage everything. But not gonna use any of these. Still shocked of the primal drop there. They are so rare. It's so hard to get a primal nowadays, and when you play a lot and you come near to the end game of Diablo or a season or whatever you're playing right now in Diablo 3, you really want those primals, because those are basically the same as a ancient legendary, but the difference is that the attributes of the primary is always maxed, but they can also roll really bad depending on what type of drop. So you still can get us a really bad primal, but still the stats of them are always maxed out. This was really nice. Cool. Let's change gear here. I'm gonna change to my damage setup. I'm gonna equip that. And I'm going to stash. I'm gonna pick up the boots, and you can see here, if we compare, that the new primal is giving me 3.2% less damage and 1.8% less recovery, but increases my toughness with 5.6%. It's still a primal, so I'm still gonna use it. Why? Because I can. Let's save those. And let's save this setup. Yes, save that. And now I'm running with a primal. Unexpected, but awesome. Alright. Let's try a... Let's do a greaterrift this time. See if we can get some redemption on level 95. And when I do a greaterrift, as you saw, I'm changing my gear to a damage setup instead of death breath setup. And this is the reason for that is I'm changing between Sage Journey and Captain Crimson's Trimmings, which is another set that you can build from the blacksmith, and it gives me some better regeneration of life per second. It also reduces cooldown of all my skills with 20%. It reduces all resource cost by 20%. And if I have 3, or if I'm using the ring in my cube, the Ring of Royal Grandeur, it reduces the number of items needed for a set bonus by 1. So in this case I'm using 2 set items, but I get the bonus of 3, which means that damage dealt is increased by my percentage of cooldown reduction, and damage taken is reduced by the percentage of my cost reduction, which is pretty good. So it both protects me and increases my damage. And when you run a greaterrift, there's no loot dropping, there's no gold dropping except for the last boss. So using a gear that double the amount of death breath, for instance, like Sage Journey, is pointless to use in a greaterrift, especially if you have this option of changing gear into more damage reduction and increasing damage, for instance. So let's try a level 95. And let's see if I can survive this. I'm still shocked of that primal loot. Fantastic surprise. So a greater rift works the same way as a normal rift. You kill a lot of mobs and demons and bosses and rares. They drop these purple globes, you pick them up. When you have filled the bar to the right, the Greater Rift boss or Greater Rift Guardian comes up, you kill it, get a lot of loot, and you get a possibility of upgrading a legendary gem. Hopefully I can show you this if I don't die. One big difference between a Greater Rift and a normal Rift is that the Greater Rifts are always on time. So you have about 15 minutes to complete it, including defeating the Guardian, the Rift Guardian as well. If you don't make the time, the only thing that differs between make it in time or not make it in time is that if you don't make it in time, you don't get the possibility of upgrading your legendary gems, but you do get some loot from the boss. And when running a Greater Rift, a lot of people tend to skip as many normal enemies as possible and aim for rares and elites just to make it a little bit quicker. and go through it as fast as possible. Now it's raining gold, except there is no gold, but it still creates some damage on the enemies. Oh, Paragon level. That's nice. Oh, I saw a pylon here of speed. Let's pick that up. Let's go deeper. Next level. Let's take the next level. Right now I'm just looking for the elites that drop these purple globes so I can finish the rift as fast as possible. Doesn't matter how many enemies you have around you when the Rift Guardian emerges. Everybody else dies except for the Rift Guardian. Okay, so now we are at 98%. I think the Rift Guardian will appear here soon. Probably just need one stack of elites left. Here we go. And all the other enemies just dies. That's one of the game mechanics of greaterrift. Now we just need to kill this. Oh, damn it! So close, but not. Let's move, move. Damn it. Yes, I am a glass cannon. I do fair amount of damage, but if I'm not buffed in these situations, they kill me pretty quick. So, there we go. A lot of loot, a lot of legendaries, some set items, some gems. I see some crafting materials as well. Let's pick it up. And when you finished in time, you get Urshia. Thank you very much. So now we get to choose a legendary gem that we would like to upgrade. And I have 3 gems here at level 97. Those 3 are the ones that I'm using in my gear right now. And if I choose one, you can see that the upgrade chance is 15% of this. If we choose this one, the Bane of Powerful, which I upgraded to level 54, I can see I have a chance of 100%. So I'm gonna choose this one. I get 3 upgrades if I clear a Greater Rift. If I clear a Greater Rift without dying, I get 4 chances. And there's also a option to buy 1 upgrade before you start the Greater Rift. I can show you that. It's called Empowered Rift. It costs millions of gold, but it grants you at least 1 upgrade, except for the 3. So you can buy your way in 4, and then you can still die, basically. Or if you are better than me, you can survive, and then you have 5 upgrades. So that's the Greater Rift. Let's go back to town. Let's do a Paragon point here. I put it on strength. Accept. Let's turn it in to Auric. Thank you. Level 95. We cleared it in 6 minutes and 3 seconds. Pretty okay. Back to Book of Cain. So what did we get? We got Pledge of Caldium, Blood Brother, Sledge of Atskelling, Butcher's Carver, Dishonored Legacy, Leoric's Crown, Spirit of the Earth. We got another Bulkatos Warrior Blood, Death Watch Mantle, Costerian Wrist Guard, another Travel's Pledge, and another Elimination. It was pretty okay, and some gems, of course. I'm not gonna save any of these gear, so I'm just gonna salvage them all. I do this to farm Forgotten Souls, which I'm using in the Cain's Cube to reforge legendary attributes. I can show you that later on in a different video, how that works as well. And a quick repair. And I'm gonna save my gems here. And for the fun of it, I have about 639 blood shards. I can gamble those for gear. So let's see what we can find. It costs about 25 if you gamble armor. You can gamble weapons, cost a little bit more, 75. Quiver, mystery mojo, orbs, and one-handed and two-handed. You can also gamble for trinkets and like rings and amulets as well. Those cost a little bit more. So 50 for a ring and 100 blood shards for an amulet. Let's try... What are we using? We have gloves, shoulders, helmet, chest. Let's do some chests, see if we can find something better. And a gamble is what a gamble is. You get a lot of rares and magic. Sometimes you get some legendary, sometimes you get some set items. In this case we got a lot of yellow rare gear. We got a few magic ones, the blue ones. We got a cinder coat, gold skin, an ancient gold skin. That's pretty good. We have Aguilar Curious and Heart of Iron. Let's just salvage those for crafting materials. If you salvage a ancient gear, I could say that, you get 3 Forgotten Souls instead of 1. So every regular legendary gives you 1 Forgotten Souls, but the ancient one gives you 3. And if you salvage a Primal gear, like these boots, you would get like 15 Forgotten Souls for those. So that's pretty nice. Alright, I think that's it for this time. We did a normal rift, we did a greater rift, and I think we're done for this time. So thank you very much for watching, and if you like these videos, and please subscribe and hit that like button, and see you next time. Bye bye.